I've gotten global in every position in FF2, and here's how you can too. Starting off, QB. QB adjusted is your yards multiplied by your QBR. Perfect QBR is 158.33, which you can get by having no interceptions and 77.5% completion or higher. Now, obviously, you're not going to get global throwing 0 interceptions unless you're like hacking. I don't know. Even if you are the greatest QB ever, there's still always MSers that will int you. It should never be your goal to get like 1,000-to-1 TD to int ratio like your first time getting global. I'd say very respectable QB stats are like around 60% completion and maybe like a 10-to-1 TD to int ratio. But if you're just playing Publix, having fun, trying to get global, there's no point in resetting your stats. If you keep having to reset your stats because they aren't good enough, eventually you're just going to get burnt out. And if you can't even keep like stats that you want early on, then you should probably just lower your expectations, because when you first reset is when it's easiest to keep good stats. But for grinding QB, you definitely need friends to play with. You can't just play with random public wide receivers, hope they vote you, and grind with them, because random public wide receivers are terrible. So I recommend playing with at least one friend, maybe 2, maybe like 3 or 4. Why not? But if you're trying to get global QB for the first time, I'd say at least at the very bare minimum, have above 100 QBR. If you have below 100, like you're just not going to get global. Your adjusted's going to be too low. It's going to take like 1,000,000 yards. Because I'm pretty sure that's 1 adjusted for like every 4 yards you throw, meaning if you need 50k adjusted to just hit global, you're going to need 200k yards, and other QBs are only going to need like 100k to have the exact same adjusted as you. I'd aim around like at least 110 to 120 if you're hitting it for the first time. Now, actual gameplay, you want to have multiple friends at wide receiver. Just honestly add any good wide receiver that you can in Publix. How I got global the first time, I just had a bunch of friends on Football Fusion 2, and I would just join them and QB and just, I didn't get global for the first time by like purposefully grinding for global. Like I just played the game a lot, which is how almost everybody gets global for the first time. And I have QB tutorials for like diming and stuff, so you can watch those if you want to get better at QB. But when I'm grinding, I mainly just play with one wide receiver, and the main routes my receiver runs are a streak, post, or comeback. This way, it's only 1 or 2 plays for each touchdown. But in-game, here's just some examples of how I'd play, because it's easier to watch gameplay than me describe it. Alright, so I'm in a game right now. As you see, I'm PRing. I'm kind of pressured in the end zone. So my receivers just streaks like that. As you see, I chested it just because the PR was nowhere near him and it was wide open. Receivers most of the time will only catch passes like that if you perfectly chest them. Now they're PRing like crazy in the server, so he's likely just gonna come back here. Yeah, I thought he was gonna slant, never mind. Now here is the perfect distance to slant, since they're obviously not gonna give a burn. So as you see, he goes in, out, it's just wide open. That's what I do if they're PRing. Just stick to slants that cover like half the field. If there's only 1 or 2 people on your receiver, they can try to slant in the end zone. But typically, if there's a bunch of people PRing and that's not happening, you can just go for passes like that. Now, a lot of the DBs left, and the thing is, most people don't immediately start PRing when they join a game. But with all these console players joining, yeah, they're PRing like crazy. So I'm just gonna wait for him to slant. Never mind, he's gonna come back. But right there, I'd want my receiver to slant. If you're trying to get global wide receiver, I guess you're not watching this part, but I guess this is QB's POV, so I just have to throw it over my receiver runs. See, I just wait for him to get open in the end zone. I'm not going to throw to someone else. I'm just going to wait for him to get open. Throw a jump pass, his advantage, easy catch. And that's kind of what happens if you're grinding QB and friend passing to one person. They just start all covering that person, and you have to just throw passes like that. Obviously, if he gets a burn in this server, I'll throw it, but he likely won't. I have 2 whole videos on how to dime, so I don't think I really need to go over that here. If your receiver wants to slant in the end zone, it's just going to take a little while to get open. Easy. So right now, no receivers are burning. This guy's kind of getting zoned on, as you can tell by that DB, so I'll try to throw this side because he kind of has bots covering him. That's a hit. That's another route you can tell your receivers to do, fake comeback, especially if the DB's playing heavy zone like that, where he's just trying to cover the shorts. So a lot of the time, grinding global QB is just kind of like patience, just waiting for your receiver to get open. Just whatever you do, do not throw 15-yard slants. So my receiver is kind of burning here, but the PR does come out of nowhere, obviously. So right now, maybe I don't think my receiver is going to get open deep. Have to scream at him in chat to run a comeback. There we go. If you really feel like your receiver can't get open, just tell him to run a comeback. Right now I'm not getting rushed. Everything is a lot easier when you're not rushed. Typically you don't want to toss it in the end zone here. Like, I'm just going to wait for one of my receivers to get open on a slant. I notice if you're just watching one receiver in the end zone, like, it kind of just takes less reaction time to throw. See, like right here, I don't think anything's going to get open, so I'll just kind of take my yards, get closer to the touchdown. One thing you can do on the very goal line is just run an LS. Bot DBs never see it coming. It's a free touchdown. So I think that pretty much covers all the routes I throw. Slants, deep slants, comebacks, line screens, and burns. Pretty much it. Running back. Now, global running back isn't that hard to get, just if you don't like running, it's really boring. A lot of global running backs are also global QBs, and they just happen to run it as well. But for stats, running back doesn't take much skill, so I'd say at least 0.7 misses per attempt and at least 15 yards per carry, but above that is even better. The thing is, I don't know exactly how running back adjusted works. Like, there are running backs on the leaderboard that will have higher yards per attempt, higher misses per attempt, and somehow have less adjusted per yard than a running back with worse stats in those categories. Like, I just don't get it. Touchdowns are important. Like, you do need a certain amount of touchdowns per run, otherwise your adjusted will be way off. Like, my second time getting global back, I had like 700 carries, 1500 yards, and 20 touchdowns, and I had like 2K adjusted. Like, if I ran it for like 50 yards, it wouldn't be any adjusted, but if I ran in a 1-yard touchdown, it would be like 50 adjusted. And you don't want to get in that situation, so just try scoring a decent amount of rushing touchdowns. But for actual gameplay, I don't really need to teach you how to mix. I mean, if you're hoping to be a global running back, hopefully you can already run it slightly. But I'd say definitely have the Trek Game Pass, maybe play with a friend, but it's not completely necessary. You can just QB in servers and occasionally hog it for like 30 yards, but I do recommend trying your very best to just find a 0% fumble server, because when you fumble and the defense picks it up, it counts as a carry and it counts as 0 yards, which is really bad for your yards per attempt and misses per attempt. So try finding a 0% server and just occasionally hogging it. Maybe if you can get someone in the server to give you handoffs. I'm pretty sure trucks don't count as missed tackles though. If that's wrong, I will pin a comment saying that it's wrong, but as of right now, I'm pretty sure that that's correct. But don't hog it every play, because it is a gradual process getting global. You're not going to get 5,000 running back adjusted in one day. So just like, occasionally run it, because with any other position, it's going to take time. I don't know if you can tell, but I just ate, so it's like 30 minutes, so lighting might have changed in the background. Anyway, I don't know why it looks so bright outside, but it's like not. It's like 4:30 p.m. Wide receiver. Anyway, for receiver, it's like the exact same as QB stats, but obviously you don't have wide receiver rating. It's just 77.5% catching or higher, and no ints will get you perfect wide receiver adjusted. Now, typically wide receivers do have better catching percent than QBs have throwing percent. Like last reset, there was only like 10 QBs with above 70% completion, and like half the wide receiver leaderboard was above 70% catching. So I'd recommend at least going for like 65%, like in that range, if you're getting global for the first time. The thing is, if you're getting global wide receiver, you need QBs to play with. Like, you cannot just be queuing into random publics. And this is where routing gets more important. It takes like more knowledge. So that's what I'll teach you. So right now, looking at the server, obviously they're going to PR. So what do I do if there's 3 people on me and I can't get a burn? I'm just going to slant about 50 yards deep or so. Obviously not exactly. Then just get as many yards after catch if I can. Obviously I wouldn't do that if they're not PRing, but it's the only thing I can do right now. Now, at the 50-yard line, this is perfect range for QB to throw an end zone slant if I can't get a burn here. Kind of ran that route flawlessly. My QB's terrible. So right now I'm still getting PR'd. There's DBs on every side of the end zone. I'm kind of getting cloned by everybody. So this is where you do the patented sit and wait tech. You wait for one side of the end zone to get wide open. And then, what? Why did he dive there? But what you do there, if they're covering you in the end zone and you want to score, if everyone on their team is on you, you can literally just sit and wait like this. And then eventually their reaction time will just be fried. And you can just cut out like that. My QB's getting rushed now, so I have to like move around a little bit. But I'm going to ask my QB to throw an LS here. Really free for touchdowns. Just attack it a little bit. I just like to attack it just in case the DB tries to line jam me or anything. I can just get past him. Okay, so now I finally do get a burn. PR isn't PRing me. I want my QB to throw it. Oh my gosh. But he didn't throw it. I run a comeback. It's wide open. Like, let's say your QB lags or something and that happens. That's the perfect thing to run. I just try to run back of the end zone here. Attack it a little bit. Comebacks are also useful if your QB is just really pressured and needs to get the ball out fast. And since you're just running right in your QB's direction, he can just like aim his cursor right at you. But you do have to read if it's a jump or a chest dot, because if you don't, then it'll likely be an interception. So if I can't really tell, I'll just kind of jump dive at the ball just to make sure I catch it. But that's basically it for wide receiver. Also, if you're trying to get global wide receiver, you should try to know how to angle. See it. Kind of helps you. Yeah, easy. DB. Now, a lot of global wide receivers are also global DB. I think, honestly, the majority of the DB leaderboard is just global wide receivers and alts, because for some reason people do that. But basically, DBR is really confusing. Like, I'm just going to be honest, I don't get how it works. Obviously, it's somewhat based off of your deny rate, but, like, some people will have 77% deny rate and 140 DBR, and some people will have 77% deny rate and, like, 120 DBR. I honestly don't understand it. I'd say you want at least, like, 100 to 110 DBR, like at the very minimum. All the stats I'm saying here is like the very minimum. Like, if you can get higher than that, then definitely go for it, but like don't reset your stats just because you're like 105 DBR, because that's like fine. But really, global DBs just get global by baiting and not getting mossed. I'll put up some gameplay in a minute, but really you just want to like know what the QB does. Like, if the QB just kind of like tosses it up no matter what, play 5 yards to the side of the receiver, like not really giving a burn. But it's easier to get interceptions, and QBs will throw to you if it's one-on-one coverage, so don't go to big crowds, because that also lessens the chance of you catching it. But if the QB is like brain dead, then you can just like give up a burn on purpose, and the QB will probably dot it right to you, because a lot of the QBs will see burns, but they won't actually be able to hit them, so you can just give up burns. And like, you can do that just to like wait a little bit, and then whoever you think you have the best chance of inting, just go to that side. But yeah, you need to bait, and if it's not catchable for you, just run away from the ball, because you do not want to be getting completions allowed. Because if you get one completion allowed, then you need like 4 interceptions just to like make it up so your DBR rate doesn't go down. Yeah, that's why you don't play with public QBs, by the way. Alright, I'm just solo covering this guy. Hopefully he tosses it my way. He's not rushed, so he most likely isn't going to toss it. You can cover more tightly when QBs are rushed. Like, bro, what? QBs are way more likely to toss it when they're being rushed, so you kind of have to bait more when they're not. But right now, I'm just kind of playing middle here. This QB is so bad, dude. Bro, I've been trying to record DE and DB clips for so long, like an hour at least, but I have gotten nothing because all these QBs suck. Now he's rushed. Finally, that's just a toss. What is that trail, dude? Thank you. Just forget I missed that last one. Hopefully I don't need that many more clips. You just kind of have to tell if it's... I'm not going for that. Really? I mean, it's more of like a mentality, you know? Like, you just have to bait enough so QBs think they can fit it on you, but like, you know, you can still int it. And they're not going to throw to you every play, so you kind of have to be patient. Throw my burn, please. Please, I'm burning. Throw it. Oh my god, dude. These QBs are so bad. I'm burning. What's he gonna do? See how he's kind of baiting? It's because he knows the QB isn't gonna hit me. Oh, what do you look at that? I still domed him. And he was right. The QB did not hit it. Holy dome. I don't know why I'm including receiver footage in this part. I guess I'm just like not getting the ball thrown to that much on defense. I'm so goated. Catching tosses, I kind of just like go under the ball and to the side like I did there, and you just kind of have to jump early, and generally you can JP on everyone. Here I'm just going to cover the guy with sleeves because I feel like he's going to throw to him, but he threw the 2v1, which makes sense, but he overed it. Oh, I see. They're friend passing. Holy slant spam. What the? 14 catches with 5 touchdowns. Yeah, that's how you don't play wide receiver. Alright, so if you're playing friend passers, you should guard them. Dude, why aren't you friend passing now, bub? So it kind of looks like I'm PRing on my screen, but there's always a little bit of delay. So I'm just going to solo cover here. Hopefully the QB throws it. I really thought he was going to throw that, but it's really hard to DB when there's no DE, and vice versa. Just bait a little. Oh my god, bro. Are you serious? Oh yeah, also I made videos for getting global in every position other than kickers, so you can watch those if you want. So the QB ones are kind of just gameplay, like they're not really tutorials. Defender. For global defender, you are going to want to play on 2% just because you get like 5 adjusted per forced fumble. And misses are really bad. Misses are like ints for defender. You lose a lot of adjusted for misses, and if you're missed, the tackle ratio is bad, your adjusted is going to be bad. Tackles per game doesn't matter as much as you think. As long as you have at least 7 tackles per game, you're probably fine. I've gotten global defender 3 times, twice with like 7.1 tackles per game and once with like 6.5. It doesn't matter that much. But you shouldn't aim for like 5 tackles per game just because you can. I'd say if you want to be a good global defender, at least 8, maybe like double digits. But for gameplay, you definitely want to rush the QB. You can try to play a little bit behind the QB just so you can try to like force pressure him until running it, and then if he cuts back, you can just easily tackle him. But if you force a fumble when you're rushing the QB, let the QB pick it back up, so then when they start running again, you can tackle them. Especially if it's going to be a safety, because then you get like double the adjusted, and you can keep rushing. I'll put up a little bit of gameplay here, but if you're trying to get global defender, you should probably somewhat already know how to rush. So this QB looks kind of bad if I'm being honest. I'm just going to play inside of him like that. He just threw it away. Some QBs are like that. If a QB just S-keys and never lets them sack you like that, you just might as well server hop if you're a defender. So again, I'm just going to try to play on the inside of this QB. Hope he cuts back. Yeah, as you see, he's just quick throwing. He really does not want to get sacked, which a lot of QBs are like that. You just kind of have to just deal with it or server hop. If you're grinding with a lot of other people that want DB adjusted, you know it's good for them because these QBs are free ints. New QB, hopefully he isn't this much of an S-keyer as the last guy. He is even more of an S-keyer. Like, you'll notice a lot of the QBs in this game just have absolutely zero clue what they're doing. So they just run straight backwards and just toss it just wherever they want to. Like, there's no way he was trying to fit that. He just threw that up completely. I'm just going to contain the inside. I'll tackle him as he throws it. And that's just a toss. Like, bro, he's lobbing short passes out of bounds just to not take a sack. Bro, like, can you guys cover? Yeah, if your DBs don't, like, even try to cover, there's no point, and you might as well just server hop. Like, look at this dude. Oh my god. Kicker. Obviously, there's not that much that goes into global kicker, but I'll still put it in here. Now, I've kind of been gatekeeping the strat, but since I kind of quit Football Fusion, I figured might as well tell you guys. If you know a kick is not going to go in, and you leave the game before it, like, physically misses, then the kick does not count on your stats. That's literally how I got 100% kicking on like 750 kicks on global. I just left when I was about to miss. I probably left from like 15 to 20 kicks at least. Do with that information what you will. I've never seen anyone get banned for it, but like maybe morally it's against your beliefs, I don't know. But don't try to get global kicker going for 100% because that's just stupid. Most global kickers are global in another position. I'm gonna go out and say at least like 60% of global kickers are global in another position. Like every reset, every single one of the top like 15 kickers are at least top 50 global in something else. So if you go into Football Fusion with the sole purpose of getting global kicker, good luck because you'll probably get bored. You might as well go for something global else and just get global kicker secondary. But you do you, man. I don't think I need to put any kicker footage up. Like, you guys know how kicking works. But what I do when I'm kicking, I always put my cursor in between the little 2 arrows, so it's just like kind of a bigger line for me to aim. Obviously you can only do that on keyboard and mouse, but I think it's still a good tip. Well, that's it. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. Be happy to answer them. I've been meaning to make this video for like literally like over a year. I just have gotten bored every time making it, so fun. Glad to finally help you guys out. Alright, well that's it. Goodbye. Okay, fine. I'll put one kicker clip in here.